The rain battered the windshield of Ellie Carver's pickup truck as she navigated the winding back roads of Blackwood County, Oregon. The static from her radio hissed like a venomous snake, occasionally spitting out fragments of a weather report. Storm warning, flash flooding, stay off the roads. Ellie cursed under her breath, gripping the steering wheel tighter. She wasn't out here by choice. Her brother Nate hadn't answered his phone in 3 days, and his last text, a garbled mess of typos sent at 2:17 a.m., had her gut twisting with worry. Ellie, don't come. Something's wrong with the tower, it's not safe. Nate worked as a maintenance tech for Blackwood's only cell tower, a lonely spire perched on Raven's Peak, miles from civilization. He'd always been a loner, but disappearing without a trace wasn't his style. Ellie's tires skidded on the slick gravel as she rounded a bend, her headlights catching the glint of something in the ditch, a rusted sign reading Raven's Peak 5 miles. The radio screeched, a high-pitched whine that made her wince, then cut to dead silence. She smacked the dashboard. Piece of junk. The storm worsened as she climbed the mountain, wind howling like a banshee. Her phone, propped on the passenger seat, showed no bars. Typical for Blackwood's dead zones, but it didn't ease the creeping dread. Nate's text replayed in her mind. Something's wrong with the tower. What did that even mean? Equipment failure, sabotage, or was he just drunk and paranoid? She shook her head. Nate didn't drink. The road ended at a muddy clearing where the cell tower loomed like a skeletal giant against the storm-churned sky. Its red beacon pulsed faintly, casting an eerie glow over the surrounding pines. Nate's beat-up Jeep was parked nearby, its driver's door ajar, swaying in the wind. Ellie's heart sank. She grabbed her flashlight and a crowbar from the truck bed, her boots sinking into the muck as she approached the Jeep. "Nate, you here?" Her voice was swallowed by the storm. The Jeep was empty, but the interior reeked of something metallic, blood. She swept the flashlight over the seats, finding no stains, just a crumpled pack of cigarettes and Nate's toolkit. Her beam caught something else, a notebook wedged under the passenger seat. She yanked it free, flipping through waterlogged pages filled with Nate's scrawled notes. Most were technical, signal frequencies, maintenance logs, but the last page stopped her cold. In shaky handwriting it read, "The signal isn't ours, it's listening. It knows my name." A branch snapped behind her. Ellie spun, crowbar raised, her flashlight slicing through the rain. Nothing but swaying trees. "Get a grip, Ellie," she muttered, tucking the notebook into her jacket. She headed for the tower's base, where a chain-link fence surrounded a small equipment shed. The gate was unlocked, swinging lazily. Inside the shed, a control panel hummed, its lights flickering erratically. Nate's tools were scattered across the floor as if he'd dropped them and bolted. Ellie's flashlight beam landed on the ladder leading up the tower. She hesitated. Climbing a 200-foot structure in a thunderstorm was suicidal, but if Nate was up there, hurt or trapped, she had no choice. She slung the crowbar through her belt loop and started climbing, the icy rungs biting her palms. Lightning cracked nearby, illuminating the forest below in stark white. For a split second, she thought she saw a figure standing at the tree line, tall, impossibly thin, motionless. She blinked and it was gone. At the top, the platform was empty except for a small maintenance hatch and a blinking antenna array. No Nate. Ellie's stomach churned. Where the hell was he? She checked the hatch, finding it bolted shut. As she turned to descend, a low hum vibrated through the tower, deep and resonant like a tuning fork struck inside her skull. Her flashlight flickered, then died. "Come on!" She smacked it, but it stayed dark. The hum grew louder, pulsing in time with the tower's beacon. Words formed in the noise, not audible but felt like thoughts injected into her brain. Ellie. Stay. She froze, her breath hitching. Who's there? No answer, just the hum, now laced with a faint, rhythmic static. She scrambled down the ladder, her boots slipping on the rungs. Back in the shed, she tried the control panel, hoping to shut off whatever was causing the noise. The screen displayed a signal frequency she didn't recognize, too low, almost subsonic. She yanked the main breaker, but the hum persisted, louder now, vibrating in her teeth. The words came again. Ellie. You're part of it now. Panic clawed at her chest. She bolted for her truck, slipping in the mud. As she reached the driver's door, her phone, dead moments ago, lit up, its screen flashing a single word. Stay. She threw it into the passenger seat and peeled out, tires spinning. The road blurred as she sped down the mountain, the hum fading but never fully stopping. She didn't slow until she hit the county highway, her hands trembling on the wheel. At the Blackwood Sheriff's Office, Ellie spilled everything to Deputy Clara Henshaw, a no-nonsense woman who'd known the Carvers since they were kids. Clara listened, her brow furrowing as Ellie showed her Nate's notebook. You're saying the tower talked to you? Clara asked, skepticism thick in her voice. I know how it sounds, Ellie snapped. But Nate's missing. His Jeep's abandoned, and something's seriously wrong up there. You gonna check it out or not? Clara sighed. All right, I'll head up with Deputy Ruiz. Storm's easing off, but it'll take us a couple hours. Stay here, Ellie. Don't go playing hero. Ellie nodded, but her mind was already racing. She couldn't sit still, not with Nate out there. After Clara left, she rifled through the station's public records, searching for anything about Raven's Peak. An old article from 1983 caught her eye. Local man vanishes near cell tower site. The man, a surveyor named Harold Gaines, had been mapping the peak when he disappeared. His last report mentioned strange radio interference and feeling watched. The case was never solved. Ellie's phone buzzed, startling her. A new text from Nate's number. Ellie, I'm sorry. Don't listen to it. Her blood ran cold. She tried calling, but it went straight to voicemail. Against Clara's orders, she grabbed her keys and headed back to Raven's Peak. The storm had cleared, leaving a heavy mist that clung to the pines. Ellie parked farther down the road this time, approaching the tower on foot. The hum was back, softer but insistent, like a heartbeat in the earth. She crept to the shed, crowbar in hand, and froze. The control panel was on, its screen now showing a live feed of her standing in the shed, filmed from above. She whipped around, scanning the ceiling. No cameras. The feed flickered and the image changed. Nate, gaunt and pale, staring directly into the lens. His lips moved, but no sound came through. Subtitles appeared. It's in the signal. It's in us. Ellie stumbled back, her crowbar clattering to the floor. The hum surged, and her vision swam. She saw flashes. Nate climbing the tower, his eyes vacant. A figure at the tree line, its limbs too long, its face a blur. A signal wave rippling through the air, twisting into shapes that weren't human. She clamped her hands over her ears, but the hum was inside her now, whispering, You can't leave. You're ours. She ran, blind with panic, crashing through the underbrush. Thorns tore at her jacket as she stumbled into a clearing. There, half buried in the dirt, was a rusted metal box. She pried it open with her crowbar, revealing a tangle of old wires and a dusty logbook. The pages detailed experiments from the 1980s, Project Hollow, a military test of psychoacoustic signals meant to influence behavior. The notes described test subjects hearing voices, seeing things that weren't there. The project was shut down after uncontrolled anomalies and missing personnel. The last entry read, The signal doesn't stop. It evolves. A twig snapped. Ellie turned, her breath catching. Clara stood at the clearing's edge, her flashlight trained on Ellie. You shouldn't be here, Clara said, her voice flat. Deputy Ruiz was behind her, his expression blank. You see it too, don't you? Ellie said, backing away. The signal. It's doing something to you. Clara's hand rested on her holster. You're tired, Ellie. Come with us. We'll find Nate. Ellie bolted, dodging Clara's grab. She sprinted through the forest, the hum chasing her, growing louder. Her phone buzzed again. Another text from Nate. I'm not me anymore. She tripped, tumbling down a ravine, her head striking a rock. Darkness swallowed her. She woke to silence, her head throbbing. The mist had thickened, and the tower's beacon pulsed faintly through the trees. Her phone was gone, but Nate's notebook was still in her jacket. She flipped to a page she'd missed, a crude sketch of the tower with lines radiating from it like a spider web. Below it, Nate had written, "Destroy the source." Ellie knew what she had to do. She staggered back to the tower, her vision blurring. The shed was empty, but the control panel now showed a countdown. 000742. She didn't know what it meant, but it couldn't be good. She smashed the panel with her crowbar, sparks flying, but the hum didn't stop. The countdown flickered, then resumed. Desperate, she climbed the tower again, her limbs heavy. At the top, she pried open the maintenance hatch, revealing a nest of wires and a pulsing black box. The hum was deafening now, the words relentless. You are us. We are you. She tore at the wires, her hands burning, but the box glowed brighter, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to writhe. A shadow loomed behind her, Nate, or something wearing his face, its eyes hollow. Ellie, it said, its voice a chorus of static. Join us. She screamed, swinging the crowbar. It struck the box, shattering it. A shockwave knocked her back, the hum cutting off mid-pulse. The tower swayed, its beacon going dark. Ellie clung to the platform, her ears ringing. Below, the forest was silent. No wind, no birds, nothing. She descended, half expecting Nate's thing to attack, but the clearing was empty. Her truck was gone, along with Nate's Jeep. She stumbled down the mountain, the notebook clutched to her chest. By dawn, she reached the highway, flagging down a passing logger. He drove her to town, eyeing her warily as she babbled about the tower. The sheriff's office was in chaos when she arrived. Clara and Ruiz hadn't returned. A search party found their patrol car abandoned near Raven's Peak, its radio melted. Nate was still missing and the tower was offline, its equipment fried. Ellie handed over the notebook, but the military swept in days later, seizing everything and cordoning off the peak. Project Hollow was buried again. Ellie left Blackwood, moving to a coastal town where the air didn't hum. She tried to forget, but at night she'd wake to static in her head, faint but persistent. Her new phone would light up with no caller ID, whispering her name. She'd smash it, buy another, but the calls kept coming. One night, she found a text from an unknown number. You stopped nothing. We're still here. Attached was a photo of Raven's Peak taken from above. The tower was gone, but the trees were bent inward, forming a perfect circle. In the center, a figure stood, tall, thin, faceless. Ellie stared, her hands shaking. The static in her head grew louder, and for the first time she answered back, I'm not yours. The phone went dark. The static stopped. But in the silence, she felt it watching.